We find ourselves always stuck in unhealthy habits, don't we? We become accustomed to our daily routines, even if they harm our well being. And it's easy to settle into familiar patterns, but this familiarity can trap us in a cycle of poor health and dissatisfaction. Imagine someone who has led a sedentary lifestyle for years, not active, inactive lifestyle, indulging in unhealthy foods and neglecting physical activity, drinking, smoking. Over time, he begins to feel the consequences: lack of energy, frequent illnesses, and emotional strain. We endure bad habits that slowly erode our vitality until a tipping point is reached. Until the tipping point is where true health transformation begins. How can we leverage this understanding to foster health changes before the pain becomes unbearable? What's up, lifestyle changers? Welcome to another episode of our Sunday Drive. Today, I want to share with you a profound insight into personal health, inspired by a quote from Tony Robbins, one of my favorite motivational speakers. He said, "People don't change until staying the same becomes more painful than changing." People don't change until staying the same becomes more painful than changing. Let's take a moment to reflect on that. We find ourselves always stuck in unhealthy habits, don't we? We become accustomed to our daily routines, even if they harm our well being. And it's easy to settle into familiar patterns, but this familiarity can trap us in a cycle of poor health and dissatisfaction. Consider the journey of health transformation. That's what I'm always wanted to talk about. Transform your health. For many of us, the drive to change our health habits doesn't come from a sudden burst of inspiration. One day you sat down beside someone who's bursting with positivity, and the next day you walk up, different person. It doesn't work that way. It stems from most of the change, uh, reason for this change people stems from experiencing discomfort or pain that is no longer bearable. It's at this critical juncture that the idea of changing their health habits starts to seem less daunting and more necessary for them. Now, let me share a story to illustrate this point. Imagine someone who has led a sedentary lifestyle for years, not active, inactive lifestyle, indulging in unhealthy foods and neglecting physical activity, drinking, smoking. Over time, he begins to feel the consequences: lack of energy, frequent illnesses, and emotional strain. He continues this way until one day, a serious health scare forces him to confront, to, to face his choices. It's only when the pain of staying the same, facing chronic diseases or reduced quality of life becomes too much to bear that he finds the courage to make a change. And I'm sure many of us can relate to this pattern. We endure bad habits that slowly erode our vitality until a tipping point is reached. Until the tipping point is where true health transformation begins. I was talking to my dad this morning while having breakfast. He turns 75 in less than 2 weeks. Unfortunately, his mobility has been severely affected by chronic inflammation that damaged the covering of the nerves of his arms and legs. He used to live a very outgoing lifestyle, and because of these mobility issues, you can imagine his lifestyle drastically changed. So, while we were talking this morning, he said that he felt something was wrong. Trying to recall the sequence of events. He said something was wrong with his legs back in 2012 when, while playing tennis, he's a tennis player, he would notice sometimes when he could not run as fast as he wanted, and other times his tennis racket would feel heavier. And intermittently, he said he would feel numbness and mild tingling in his legs. But he thought, maybe it's just really part of aging. He continued with this lifestyle until he fell. He fell down the stairs and became paraplegic, meaning he couldn't move his arms and legs, forelimbs, right, for several months. And that was his wake-up call. The pain of losing freedom to move and the fear of living like a dead were too much to bear for him. And he saw no choice but to embrace a different lifestyle that he's trying to avoid before. And that's a healthy lifestyle. So, how can we leverage this understanding to foster health changes before the pain becomes unbearable? Because unfortunately, I think 90% of people choose that path. Don't change until it becomes too painful. What if we can change that? What if we do the reverse? Change while pain is still not worse enough to be unbearable. How? Let me walk you through. First thing you're going to do, self-awareness. Regularly assess your health habits and their impact on your well-being. Ask yourself, make that habit of asking yourself, are these choices truly serve my long-term health? By taking time to reflect on your habits, you can identify areas that may need improvement and then celebrate those already contributing positively. Simple questions like, how many servings of fruits and vegetables have I eaten today, or this week, or this month, right? Why can't I eat more healthy foods? What's stopping me from exercising? Why am I sleeping late? Ask yourself. Question your habits. Because these habits are going to lead you to a path of either wellness or sickness. And after awareness, educate. Educate yourself about nutrition, about fitness, to make informed decisions. What are you going to do? If you find these habits are not good for you, what are you going to do? Before you can answer that, you got to do your work. Use resources like books and reputable websites, and even seek advice from healthcare professionals. Remember, listening to your body and adjusting your habits is important. Second thing you can do, embrace courage. Courage is not the absence of fear, my friends, but rather the judgment that something else is more important. Health and quality of life. These two things are more important in whatever chapter of your life you are, in whatever phase of your journey you're in. Health, quality of life. Change is inherently uncomfortable, we know that. the discomfort of stepping into the unknown or unfamiliarity. But remember, discomfort is just temporary. Nothing is permanent. But the complications from chronic disease, let me correct that, is permanent. Stroke, paralysis, unable to eat, unable to swallow your food, move, speak, think. You don't see it now, but I'm sure you've seen it from your loved ones who have fallen victims to these complications. So don't focus on the pain of changing, because changing to healthier habits has the potential to lead to a healthier, more vibrant life. Embracing courage means allowing yourself to grow through these challenges. Recognizing that each step outside of your comfort zone is a step toward becoming a stronger, a more resilient version of yourself. Celebrating small victories along the way is also just as important, as they are the building blocks of larger transformation. Finally, surround yourself with the supportive community. Don't forget that. Whether it's friends, families, healthcare professionals, or fitness groups, having a network that encourages and supports your health journey can make the change process less daunting. And I want you to remember this. You are the average of the 5 people you hang out with regularly. Who are these 5 people you hang out with? What are their habits? Positive, negative? Know that you are the average of those 5. And if you're happy with your habits, go on with your life. If you're not worried about being sick and being disabled, that's your choice. But if deep within your heart and within your mind, you know you don't want to go that route, maybe the best thing you can do is look around you. Who do you hang out with? Change is hard. But I think it's much harder when you are not supported, when you're not in the right crowd. Not because they don't care, but because they are not capable of helping you. So, find yourself somebody willing to help you go through the process of transformation. And the best person is someone who was once in a mess that you are in right now. And that person was able to transform his health and life for the better. When you are transformed, you become more than you are. And when you become more than you are, you can have more than you've got. Name it. Vitality, happiness, wellness, gratitude, love, meaningful life. The list goes on and on. It's unlimited. So let's not wait for the pain of deteriorating health to push us to change. Instead, let's be proactive, okay? Seek better health and well-being in our lives. Embrace the discomfort of changing health habits, because it is the gateway to a more vibrant, energetic, and fulfilling life. I hope that this reminder is helpful for you. My name is Dr. Adelita James, an internal medicine physician and lifestyle coach, also known as a Lifestyle Changer MD, here to remind you to not wait until pain becomes unbearable. Instead, make the change and just do it now. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.